Okay then, good morning guys. This is the Imaginary Conflicts channel. My name is Rich and I'll be your host this morning. So something has literally just come through my door. And I figured that I'd do an unboxing video because it's very different to the sort of stuff that I've done previously on the channel. So without any further ado, let's get into this. This particular package has come from Ground Zero Games, which is a UK-based sci-fi miniatures manufacturer. And so let's just pull everything out and let's see what we get. Now, let's look at this, and this will give it all away. See if you can see that. Full thrust, or full thrust light, starship combat. So, we've got here, I was actually expecting this to be a PDF, so it's nice that they've given us a nice little printout. It's, as you can see here, should be everything that we need to play games of spaceship combat. Might do a rules review on these at another time. We'll put those to the side for now. And let's look at what we have left. So this is a receipt. You don't need to see that. That's got my information on it. A New Year discount voucher. Product information. These are not toys. Okie dokie. So I'm going to hide that. That's a lovely little voucher there for a discount in the new year. So what have we got here? Ooh, freebies. Let me just get everything laid out and then I'll run it through with you. So first of all, I got some Let's focus. There we go. Xmas freebies. Season's greetings from Ground Zero Games. And what it looks like is an assortment of ship pieces. I'm not sure what ships they are, but they do look nice. I won't lie. This looks like it could be a Krusty vessel. Krusties are an alien race in the full thrust setting, and you can tell because you see you've got that circled bit on both sides of the ship. You can see that. That is a hallmark of Krusty ship design. And we seem to have this ship here, and from its blocky shape, you can see that. It appears to be part of the, I think it's called the New Swabian League, which is the Germans of the setting. And we've got a few tiny ships there, which I think might also be Krusties. And then we have, again, New Swabian League. These look like potentially frigates or something. And then we get to the meat of what I ordered, which was their intro fleet box. And I did order, in fact, New Swabian League and Krusties, just because I like the look of their ships. I think that they have really, really nice aesthetics. And yeah, so without any further ado, let's crack on with the New Swabian League ships. Bit of flash there that's come out of the box. At least I hope it was flash. But yes, so this is, I believe, looking at the size of the other ships, a cruiser for the New Swabian League. I can't remember the name of it. It had some sort of German name. It's a very nice model, very, very nice details on it, and not a great deal of flash. Some on the underside, and let me just look at that more closely with my own eyes. Oh so slightly some flash on sort of the top ridge and around and down, but not a great deal of flash at all, so that's very, very nice. Might need to do some drilling into that to access the flight stand hole. But otherwise, not a problem at all. That does mean, however, that I'll need to invest in a hobby drill, because I don't actually have one of those. I've probably needed one for many, many years, but I've just never gotten around to buying one. I imagine that I can pick them up cheap somewhere. And then this hefty fellow, which is actually a two-part. I'm assuming that this would... Yes, that looks like a bridge section, so I won't show you that for now, but let's look at the main part of the ship. This, I think, is a battle cruiser of some description. Looks like these might be, I don't know, hangars or torpedo bays perhaps on the front, or just laser batteries. Again, a little bit of flash, but not a great deal. The hole there for putting in the flight stand is nice and clear. So yes, this seems to be a reasonably sized fellow. Very nice. We have one that is more of a multi-part thing here, so actually maybe this is the battle cruiser, and the other one might be, I don't know, some form of carrier, I'm not sure what came in the intro fleet, so I just wanted to get started. So this one is a three-parter. Again, it's got a bridge section, and then I imagine this must go together. I imagine it doesn't go together sideways. Oh, no, I might have it upside down there. 1 second. So there we go. We have, this may well be the battle cruiser. You see this top side up, and the bridge would go, I believe, somewhere like there. Flight stand hole at the bottom. So this is roughly what it will look like when it's all together. A very hefty ship with lots of sort of quite prominent angular shapes, which is very nice indeed. Pop you by there. Pop you back in the bag. And then we have some much smaller ships. I'll get one of these out. Very small little ones. Actually not quite as small as the freebie ones that I got, as you can see. So maybe these are a kind of corvette perhaps. Or maybe even these are the frigates and I'm getting my sizes wrong. Who knows, eh? But yeah, so I have 4 of these little ones. I have 2 of these mid-sized ones. And then I have a slightly larger one here, and then the multi-parter, which is even larger and in pieces. So that is the new Swabian League. They're very much the Germans in space. And they have some absolutely beautiful looking ships. I think that they're really, really nice, and that's why I got my hands on them. Just pop those away. And now we'll look at the Krusties, which is a bit of a weird name for an alien race, to be quite honest with you, but there we are. And so let's pull all these bits out here for a second, and we'll see what floats to the top, as it were. Suppose we'll start with these. The Krusty ships, they all look to be multi-parters, except these ones. Let's look at what this little thing assembles here. So, like I say, you've got that circular bit on the Krusty ship, which really sort of marks it out as a hallmark of Krusty ship design. Where do these bits go? That's interesting. Ah, I see. Oh, brilliant. So they go on the side. Hang on 1 second. Let's try and do a dry fit. It's a bit tight, actually. That might take some playing around with. Hopefully these are the right ways around. So the final Krusty ship will look a little bit like this, as you can see there. I'm not quite sure what size this is. In relation to the new Swabian League, this could be a cruiser perhaps of some description. But yes, so that's one of the large ships that comes with it. That one will be a little bit finicky to assemble actually, just to show you two of the sections. So this is the rear section, or I suppose the aft section of the ship. And as you can see, it's got these two ridges here into which, let's get this into focus. There we go. You see that little line down there. So this is probably the wrong way around, but actually squeezes in, as you can see there, like that. And it's not the best fit as a dry fit, so that will take some work to get done. Let's put this back in its bag so I don't lose any of the pieces, otherwise I will kick myself for 1,000 years. And we've got a very large chap here, a very large vessel. Looks to be only a two-part kit though, which is good, nice and simple. They have the aft here, the prow there, and it slots in like so. And this will be some kind of Krusty capital ship with, well, it does actually look like it's missing a piece here, look. Maybe it's in another one of the bags. See, you've almost got like a staircase. Gosh, focus with me. Yes, you've got like a staircase going up here. It's what I'm assuming would have been a bridge, but I cannot see any bridge. See perhaps if it has been put in another one of the boxes, or bags should I say. It doesn't appear to be, so that's a slight shame, but if there's one thing I do know about Ground Zero games, from everything I've heard about them, is that they are very, very good with responding to missing parts or bad molds or anything like that. So it will just be a case of emailing Ground Zero games and saying, hi buddy, this particular Krusty ship, and I'll look on the website to find out which one it is, appears to be missing its bridge. So can I get that replaced? And no doubt he'll say yes. And given that I only ordered these, let me think, Tuesday perhaps, and it's Saturday morning now, I imagine that I'll have that bridge with me before the Christmas break. So that will be absolutely wonderful. A nice little project to do over Christmas. We seem here to have two types of small ship. I'll get one out of each. One seems to be a tad larger than the other. That's fine. Again, not much in the way of mould lines to worry about, but this is the tiny one, Tiny Tim. Again with a little circle design that is common to all Krusty ships. And yes, this might be some sort of corvette, perhaps, I don't know, or a monitor. Yes, very small, but bristling with guns. So maybe it was, depending on the size of this ship, it could be some sort of destroyer, or perhaps this one is. This one has little jutting out wings, slightly more pronounced than the other one. This one's also slightly larger, slightly more chunky. Again, bristling with weapons. And yes, that's a lovely little ship there. And I've got two of each of those. And then the final bag from the Krusty's fleet to open is this one here, which has two identical ships. These ones have some bits to snip off by the looks of it, some serious flash. Yes, these appear to have sort of a fairly hefty rear section with those rockets on the end. This is the bottom here. And then it's got two more of those little, I suppose these would be nacelles or nacelles or however you pronounce them, that slot into the sides here. Oh, these ones go in quite nicely actually, like that. Get the idea. So I imagine these could be cruisers perhaps. But yes, we'll take a little bit of bending out, some flash to trim off of these, but nothing too egregious, which is lovely. And like I say, 2 of those, and that concludes the Krusty's Introductory Fleet Pack. So I've now covered the new Swabian League Introductory Fleet Pack, the Krusty's Introductory Fleet Pack, let me just put these back in the bag, and the Christmas freebies that I got. And along with those, I also have a bunch of flight stands with which to base them and mount them. I also have some more with each of the different Krusty packs. But I do have one more thing, and I'll get a sprue of these out, hopefully, so you can see what they are. I'm quite excited for these. I intend to use these for both sides just because they are so fascinating and so lovely. Some flash that needs to be trimmed off of them, but look, little tiny Y-wings, like in Star Wars. And so I believe these were from the British fleet, because the British Empire is in space in the full thrust setting. And they're not the most detailed models in the world, but they were very cheap, and I think I've got about 30 of them. And so yeah, so I'll be using these for both sides, painted up in different colours to represent fighters and bombers. And yeah, so they're quite diddy. And they come with I suppose you can see that. It is see-through, yes. One of these little odd snowflake shaped pieces. And yes, their job is for fighters to be perched on top of them. As you can see, there are 6 slots, and the idea is that you then perch this on top of a flight stand, and then it allows you to have a squadron of fighters on a single flight stand. So that's quite lovely, and that wraps up this opening. I just wanted to quickly say as well that although I've bought all these things, and it has come with an introductory full thrust rules pack, which no doubt I will probably give a go and see if I like it. The primary reason for me buying all of these, and there are a few other bits that I'm looking to buy, is largely for the Osprey Games release that's coming out in February 2021. It's called A Billion Suns, and it's another space combat game. And I really like the idea that is coming up with that. I read through the design blog and through its web pages. And the idea of playing a space game where there are no movement values, some Newtonian physics in action there, and also multiple game boards that you can play on. So the idea is that you don't restrict your game to a single area of battle. Instead, you can have multiple game boards, essentially, or tabletops. So whether that is you play one game, I don't know, on the kitchen work surface and another one on the table, or you have your war games table and you just divide it up into, say, quarters and play on those individual quarters. I just think that that's a really interesting idea, and some of the scenario mechanics there as well in that game that's supposed to be coming out, that you don't just have your objective, your scenario objective of destroying the enemy, but you also have small-scale contracts, so, such as reaching out to space stations and disabling communication satellites and things like that. I just think that that would be fantastic to create some really cool story-driven games. So yeah, so A Billion Suns is coming out in February 2021, but we're still a couple of months off from that yet. So in the meantime, I'll probably be giving Full Thrust a look while I paint up these 2 introductory fleets. And yeah, so that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you maybe you've had your eyes open to a different genre. I've got a few more boxes arriving just before Christmas, so hopefully I'll be able to do a couple of unboxing videos as well. And then towards the end of the month, I am looking at doing my What's on the Table for December 2020, because I realised after I did my first one that doing a what's on the table kind of video at the beginning of a month didn't really make much sense because you didn't actually get to see anything that I painted, just some undercoated soldiers and books that I'd been reading. So I've decided now to move that towards the end of the month. So then hopefully you can see some actually painted models and yeah, then you will be able to actually see what I'm doing in my hobby, not just some preliminaries. So unfortunately, that means in this first period, there was actually a 2 month wait instead of a 1 month wait between the What's on the Table videos. But that was, I think I started it at the beginning of the month just because I got excited and I went ahead with it without properly thinking about it, which sounds like me all over, really. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you like what you've seen. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So God bless, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!